That takes us to 17 minutes. We'll do one real short tune here to end. We'll go from upbeat to downbeat. A little song about Baudelaire, the poet. It's called Baudelaire's Blues.
So literary.
Key of F.
All right.
Twilight shadow lies across your face, the traces of innocence have been erased. Eyes on the page, not to lose my place. You lie on the floor in linen and lace. Timing, rhyming with a deep desire. Baudelaire's words set the world on fire. Track those words down a thin high wire. We'll sing sweet nothings with an angel choir. Love's not the word that I would choose. Describe these feelings that I can't refuse. Sweet rambling girl who wants no home, feels the darkness of a Frenchman's poem. Wake up singing Baudelaire's blues. I wake up singing Baudelaire's blues. Thank you very much. We are 2/3 of the Mary J. Pranksters.
Doodles.
Bye.
And they tell me, follow your dreams. And they say, do what you want, and money will come.
Welcome back, everybody, to The Objective Slant. My name is Michael Aaron Lloyd, and what I promised you last month has been finally achieved. We have a glorious young person here who is ready and willing to talk socialism and all the caveats that come with it, you know, all the pros, all the cons, and everything like that. And it's gonna be great. So here he is right here next to me. What's your name, sir? What's your major? I guess, you know.
My name is Isaac. I'm a sociology major, freshman, class of 2022.
Well, nice to meet you, man. I appreciate you coming on the program. First guest we've had since October. So, you know, it's always an honor and always a pleasure to have people that are willing to come and talk serious topping points and whatnot, you know, just to,
Right.
so obviously, you know the whole socialist movement, everything. Are you a socialist by any chance?
I am a socialist, indeed.
Great.
Great.
So, so can you maybe elaborate on some of the policies, you know, that you believe in, you know?
Wow. That's a lot to unpack, obviously.
We have
Yeah,
plenty of
that's-
time.
yeah, well, I mean, that's the big question, right? What the hell is socialism? The question that everyone asks, and nobody seems to be able to answer.
Yeah.
Being that, to me, describing socialism per se it's a lot like, it's like trying to describe an H.P. Lovecraft monster, right? It's like you can describe a general idea and you can describe what it's not, but going into its particulars is precarious because it is something from a Marxian perspective. It's just something that has not physically manifested in our timeline, and now many people would object to that and say, "Oh no, but you know the USSR tried it. That was socialism in practice." But here's the thing: they don't know what they're talking about because they've never read a word of Marx, and most likely if they make that conjecture, being that. From point of Marxist analysis, a socioeconomic system doesn't just precipitate in one century and just vanishes the next, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of it's like no backsies. It's a what's the word? It's just an irreversible process. Such as, because of course you didn't see like capitalism popped up for just a couple decades and just like vanish during the era of feudalism. Once those wheels started turning in motion, it's just an inevitable process. So setting the record straight. Socialism is not a set of government policy. It's not a
lifestyle?
Socialists can have, of course, we have policy, a set of policies that we support in our current capitalist state of affairs. But talking socialism in it of itself is a completely different ballpark. Because it is something that is precipitated by a complete paradigm shift in the way that we produce, consume, and distribute commodities. Because for example, with feudalism, slave society, that precipitated, of course, with the Neolithic Revolution, where we have agriculture, where we have domesticated cattle and pets. We are able to have settled civilized society. And of course we couldn't not have capitalism until we have the Industrial Revolution. So what I'm trying to get at is that there needs to be a substantial qualitative sociopolitical event for a new socioeconomic system to truly manifest. And as a socialist now, I would argue that we are on the verge of that event being the advent of automation and AI technology. Because when you think about it, of course, it changes virtually everything when the vast majority, we have the capability for the vast majority of the production of commodities to be just completely automated and have that burden lifted from the shoulders of manual labor, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's a very broad topic. It's kind of hard to keep a constant flow of, the constant flow narrative to properly explicate all the ins about it. Did you have any follow-up questions?
Yeah. So what kind of policies do you think would work here? Like if they were I don't know. Let me start with the Green New Deal first.
Right,
Yeah, because wanted to address Ocasio-Cortez's Green New Deal and, you know, the policies that she's trying to implement, I guess, on a greater scale here. And do you think that any one of the proposed things would work here? Like for example,
I mean, asking if they would work, of course they would work, because I mean we're the wealthiest country on earth. We have the means to do just about anything if we so wished. Of course, most socialists are completely behind with all the stipulations and proposals within the Green New Deal. The thing is that from a socialist perspective, it's simply not going to happen without a mass movement from below, right? Because if you look at the exigence for the original New Deal with FDR, it didn't just, you know, come out of thin air by his own wisdom and benevolence. And this is, of course, you know, something that is not widely talked about in regarding to the New Deal, but its exigence was largely predicated on constant acute pressure from the Communist Party, from both socialist parties at the time, both major socialist parties, and the trade unions, who basically at the time, in correspondence with the FDR administration, they were basically given an ultimatum, basically saying, I mean, this is in the smack dab in the middle of the Great Depression, obviously.
Yeah.
Saying, okay, people are starving, people are homeless, millions are suffering right now. So here's the deal: you are going to give us a new deal. We need job programs. We need to put people to work. We need job security. We need all these things for. We need all these social security programs. And if this does not happen, there is going to be trouble. There's going to be general strike. There's going to be mass civil disobedience, and there may even be insurrection. And that was the kind of acute pressure that set the FDR administration on the path to actually ratifying that. And we see in Congress now that there needs to be that same sort of pressure on our elected officials, because as you've seen with probably you remember the Feinstein ordeal, and is that San Francisco?
Oh no, I haven't heard of that.
Well, this was kind of a case in point of example of where exactly our representatives are from a psychological point of view. Basically, these group of elementary school to teenage kids came with posters and stuff, asking Senator Feinstein to support the Green New Deal, and instead of giving a polite politician no, she just went straight up saying, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm a professional here. I know what I'm doing." And basically, basically telling these kids to F off without any pomp or circumstance, and that really just kind of confirms, in a way that it just confirms that our representatives are beholden to this trustee, model of representation, right?
Yeah.
And it's no secret, like our, Poli-Sci 2306 teaches this to us verbatim.
Interesting.
Right.
Interesting.
That, basically saying, public opinion is kind of an afterthought, and the representation is based on, the personal discretion of the representative. And in a mass technological age that we're living in, where We can collect data at an unprecedented